A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of God, most gracious, most merciful, by those who range themselves in ranks and so strong in repelling evil, and thus proclaim the message of God. Verily, verily, your God is one, Lord of the heavens and of the earth, and all between them, and Lord of every point at the rising of the sun. We have indeed decked the lower heaven with a beauty in the stars, for beauty and for guard against all obstinate, rebellious, evil spirits, so they should not strain their ears in the direction of the exalted assembly. But he cast away from every slide, repulsed, for they are under a perpetual penalty, except such as snatch away something by stealth, and they are pursued by a flaming fire of piercing brightness, just as set opinion as are they the more difficult to create over other beings we have created. Them have we created out of a sticky clay. Truly dost thou marvel while they ridicule, and when they are admonished pay no heed, and when they see a sign turn it to mockery, and say, this is nothing but evident sorcery. What, when we die and become dust and bones, shall we then be raised up again, and all to our fathers of old? Say thou yet, and ye shall then be humiliated on account of your evil. Then it will be a single compelling cry, and behold, they will begin to see. They will say, ah, woe to us, this is the day of judgment. A voice will say, this is the day of sorting out, whose truth ye once denied. Bring it up, it shall be said. The wrongdoers and their wives and the things they worship besides God, and lead them to the way to the fierce fire. But stop them, for they must be asked, what is the matter with you, that ye help not each other? Nay, but that day they shall submit to judgment, and they will turn to one another and question one another. They will say, it was you who used to come to us from the right hand of power and authority. They will reply, nay, yourselves had no faith, nor had we any authority over you. Nay, it was ye who were a people in obstinate rebellion. So now has been proved true against us the word of our Lord, that we shall indeed have to taste the punishment of our sins. We led you astray, for truly we were ourselves astray. Truly that day they will all share in the penalty. Verily that is how we shall deal with sinners. For they, when they were told that there is no God except God, would puff themselves up with pride and say, what? Shall we give up our gods for the sake of a poet possessed? Nay, he has come with the very truth, and he confirms the message of the apostles before him. Ye shall indeed taste of a grievous penalty, but it will be no more than the retribution of the evil that ye have wrought. But the sincere and devoted servants of God, for them is a sustenance determined, fruits delight, and they shall enjoy honour and dignity in gardens of felicity, facing each other on thrones of dignity. Round will be passed to them a cup from a clear flowing fountain, crystal white of a taste, delicious to those who drink thereof, free from headiness, nor will they suffer intoxication therefrom. And besides them will be chaste women, restraining in their glances with big eyes of wonder and beauty, as if they were delicate eggs closely guarded. Then they will turn one another and question one another. One of them will start the talk and say, I had an intimate companion on the earth who used to say, what art thou amongst those who bear witness to the truth of the message? When we die and become dust and bones, shall we indeed receive rewards and punishments? A voice said, would you like to look down? He looked down and saw him in the midst of a fire. He said, by God, thou wast little short of bringing me to my perdition. Had it not been for the grace of my Lord, I should certainly have been among those brought there. Is it the case that we shall not die, except our first death, that and that we shall not be punished. Verily, this is a supreme achievement. For the like of it, let all strive. We wish to strive. Is that the better entertainment of it, or the tree of Zakum? So we have truly made it as a trial for the wrongdoers. For it is a tree that springs out of the bottom of hellfire. The shoots of its fruit stalks are like the heads of evils. Truly they will eat thereof, and fill their bellies therewith. Then on top of that they will be given a mixture made of boiling water. Then shall their return be to the blazing fire. Truly they found their fathers on the wrong path, so they too will rush down on their footsteps. And truly before them many of the ancients went astray, but we sent aforetime among them apostles to admonish them, and see what was the end of those who were admonished. But he did not, except the sincere and devoted servants of God. In the days of old Noah cried to us, and we are the best to hear prayer, and we delivered him and his people from the great calamity, and made his progeny to endure on his earth, and we left this blessing for him among generations to come in later times, peace and salutation to Noah among the nations. Thus indeed do we reward those who do right, for he was one of our believing servants. Then the rest we overwhelmed in the flood. Verily among those who followed his way was Abraham. Behold, he approached his Lord with a sound heart. Behold, he said to his father and to his people, what is that which you worship? Is it a falsehood, gods other than God, that you desire? And what is your idea about the Lord of the worlds? Then did he cast a glance at the stars, and he said, I am indeed sick at heart. So they turned away from him and departed. Then did he turn to their gods, and said, Will you not eat of the offerings before you? What is the matter with you, that ye speak not intelligently? Then did he turn upon them, striking them with the right hand. Then came the worshippers with hurried steps and faced him. He said, Worship ye that which ye have yourselves carved, but God has created you and your handiwork. They said, Build him a furnace and throw him into the blazing fire. This failing, they then sought a stratagem against him. But we made them the ones most humiliated. He said, I will go to my Lord. He will surely guide me. O my Lord, grant me a righteous son. So we gave him the good news of a boy ready to suffer and forbear. Then when the son reached the age of serious work with him, he said, O my son, I see in vision that I offer thee in sacrifice. Now see what is thy view. The son said, O my father, do as thou art commanded. Thou wilt find me, if God so wills, one practicing patience and constancy. So when they had both submitted their wills to God, and he laid him prostrate on his forehead for sacrifice, we called out to him, O Abraham, for thou hast already fulfilled the vision. Thus indeed do we reward those who do right. For this was obviously a trial, and we ransomed him with a momentous sacrifice, and we left this blessing for him among generations to come in later times. Peace and salutation to Abraham. Thus indeed do we reward those who do right, for he was one of our believing servants, and we gave him the good news of Isaac, a prophet, one of them righteous. We blessed him and Isaac, but of their progeny, and some of that do right, and some that obviously do wrong to their own souls. Again of old, we bestowed our favour on Moses and Aaron, and we delivered their people from their great calamity, and we helped them so they overcame their troubles, and we gave them the book which helps to make things clear, and we guided them to a straight way, and we left this blessing for them among generations to come in later times. Peace and salutation to Moses and Aaron. Thus indeed do we reward those who do right, for they were two of our believing servants. So also was Elias among those sent by us. Behold, he said to his people, Will ye not fear God? Will ye call upon Baal and forsake the best of creators, God your Lord and cherisher, and the Lord and cherisher of your fathers of old. But they rejected him, and they will certainly be called up for punishment, except the sincere and devoted servants of God among them. And we left this blessing for him among generations to come in later times, peace and salutation to such as Elias. Thus indeed do we reward for those who do right, for he does one of our believing servants, so also Lot among those sent by us. Behold, we delivered him and his adherents, all except an old woman who was among those who lagged behind. Then we destroyed the rest. Verily ye pass by their sights by day and by night. Will you not understand? So also was Jonah among those sent by us, when he ran away like a slave from captivity to a ship fully laden. He agreed to cast lots, and he was condemned. Then the big fish did swallow him, and he had done acts worthy of blame. Had it not been that he repented and glorified God, he would certainly have remained inside the fish till the day of resurrection. But we cast him forth from a naked shore in a state of sickness, and we caused over him a spreading plant of a god kind, and we sent him on a mission to 100,000 men or more, and they believed, so he permitted them to enjoy their life for a while. Now ask them their opinion. Is that thy Lord has only daughters and they have sons, or that we create the angels female and they are witnesses thereto? It is not that they say from their own invention, God has begotten children, but they are liars. Did he then choose daughters rather than sons? What is the matter with you? How judge you? Will you not then receive admonition, or have you an authority manifest? Then bring ye your book of authority if ye be truthful. And they have invented a blood relationship between him and the jinns, but the jinns know quite well that they have indeed to appear before his judgment seat. Glory to God, he is free from the things they ascribe to him. Not so do the servants of God, sincere and devoted, for verily neither you nor those you worship can lead any into temptation concerning God, except such as are themselves going to the blazing fire. Those range in rank say, not one of us, but has a place appointed, and we are verily ranged in ranks for service, and we are verily those who declare God's glory. And there were those who said, if only we had had before us a message for those of old, we should certainly have been servants of God, sincere and devoted. But now that the Quran has come, they will reject it, but soon will they know. Already has our word been passed before this to our servants sent by us, that they would certainly be assisted, and that our forces they surely must conquer. So turn thou away from them for a little while, and watch them how they fare, and they soon shall see how thou farest. Do they wish indeed to hurry on our punishment? But when it descends into the open space before them, evil will be the morning for those who were warned and heeded not. So turn thou away from them for a little while, and watch how they fare, and they soon shall see how thou farest. Glory to thy God, the Lord of honour and power, he is free from what they ascribe to him, and peace on the apostles, and praise to God, the Lord and cherisher of the worlds.